Neil Cowan Jr.'s co-driver Thomas Bruce had landed in Newcastle Airport on the morning of the Hills after a stag do in Spain. Despite a potential hangover in the hot seat, Neil and Thomas would grab second in class and wrap up the class and junior titles after a great season.
I guess again it really depends on how quickly we can get out of here.
Start of the year we just thought, we'll go for a full season, see how we go, and at the space side when we had the engine failure it was like, oh, what do we do? But I mean, just stuck with it and just rolled the car out the garage and got there and that was it. It was good, great.
Well done.
Having to manually operate the window wipers with a wire through the window wasn't the ideal start in the wet morning for Scott Peacock and Robin Neal. It didn't seem to slow them down as they took their fourth class win of the year. Jamie Stewart was the sole starter in Class 2, a solid run to the finish, wrapping up the class title in his 2:05. We would lose Scott Sloan, Neil Coulter and Angus Laurie throughout the day, Angus retiring while leading the class. And in the battle for second in the class points, Drew Barker and Shona Hale would lose out to Nikki Addison and Rachel Matheson by just 3 seconds at the finish. And that left Nikki to take second in the drivers' points and Rachel top of the co-driver standings, Nikki taking the Scottish Ladies Drivers' title in their first ever full season.
So chuffed with it.
Enjoyed your season?
Yeah, it's been really good for our first season. It's been amazing, but
I mean, I know how difficult the snowman was weather-wise and everything, but to see the pace increasing as the year goes on, it's quite impressive.
Watching our in cars, you can notice the difference. Hopefully it'll just keep going up.
Rachel, there's a bit of squealing starting to go on though. That's a bit worrying, is it not?
What, in the car?
Uh-huh.
There's always been squealing. It just gets higher pitch.
So first season, you must be chuffed with coming away with this prize.
Oh, delighted to even just finish. Yeah, happy about that.
Third at the finish was enough for Ross Hughes to take the class championship win after a fantastic giant-killing year in the C2. Finlay Retson and Tom Hine got in some Rally GB prep with second in class. Second going into the second loop, Keith Riddick and Stephen Clark turned up the wick in their chase of Angus. In fact, Stephen said it was probably the fastest he'd been in a rally car. After the Corsa retired, they took the win, despite a smoky engine. Class champion Fraser McNichol had Sinclair Young back in the hot seat, but unfortunately they would retire in SS3. Fourth in class was enough for Jim Robertson to secure second in the points, co-driver Mike Curry going one better, taking the co-driver's class title. Paddy Munro would take third in the class, despite co-driver Seamus McLean feeling very ill throughout the day. At the top of the class there was a good battle. Douglas Watt and John O'Kane were swapping times all day, but eventually O'Kane would take another class win by just 16 seconds from Watt, both finishing inside the top 20. David and Douglas Cameron would take third in class in the hills. Ian and Sandy Milne played the championship game. Second in class was enough for them to take another historic title. Ernie Lee would round off a strong second half of the season with a second win in a row. Next up, Wales Rally GB National. Leading the class coming into the hills, Ali Curry would unfortunately retire with suspension failure. And this would leave Grant McRae as the sole survivor. Dealing with a broken anti-roll bar and a homemade 4-speed gearbox, Grant would reach the finish and snatch the class title away from Curry. There were no finishers in Class 7, Stephen and Mary Wood taking the class championship despite their non-finish. Gordon Murray and David O'Brien survived brake failure and a small argument with a tree to take second in class. Apparently, it was just a small tree. And despite a puncture and starter motor failure, Greg McKnight and Harry Marchbank stormed to another top 10 finish. The last event for the Yellow Escort in their hands, going with a bang as they wrapped up both the class and two-wheel drive titles for 2018 and finished in the championship top 10 points after an impressive season.